Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, Ddpc is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
not the smoothest on ramp. Only my 999th time doing that. And anyway, welcome guys. Welcome to Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris, episode 999. I cannot believe it. I can't believe we're here, man. This is it. After today, won't be on Thursday, won't be on Friday, but Saturday we'll be broadcasting live from the Wyndham Hotel in Southbury, Connecticut, and having a breakfast to celebrate 1,000 episodes of Ddpc. So super exciting, just a big landmark moment, and glad that we have this opportunity to do this on Saturday. So hope that you can come. We're nearing about, I don't know, there's a lot of people that are coming, but I think most everybody's local, which I get. I mean, I don't expect people to travel and to come out here for a 1 hour event when you can watch it live online for sure. But so anyway, just so grateful and so thankful for all of you and for your willingness to plug in and to be a part of this stream so frequently. And there's so many more. Like I forgot. Hang on just a minute. I got to get Instagram on here. Hey, Instagram, man. So sorry, guys. I jumped in. This has been the roughest. I'll tell you what, man. It's like I said. I've had I've only done this now. This is my 999th time doing it, and I missed my cue. I had a text overlay over my face. And then I forgot to include Instagram. And so my apologies for getting you guys on so late. I was off to the races, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I never hit the live button on Instagram. So my bad. So let me just start over really quick and say thank you for being here with us on our 999th episode of Daily Devotions with Pastor Chris. We won't be on tomorrow. We won't be on Friday. But Saturday, we'll be celebrating together 1,000 episodes, which I cannot believe. 1,000 times we have plugged in. That is astonishing to me. And yet here we are. And you guys have been so gracious and so consistent, so encouraging. There has been numerous testimonies of things that have been said on certain days that were exactly what you needed, just nuggets that blessed you. And that blesses me, man, because, you just never know. You never know what something is how something that you do is going to help somebody else. And so today, man, I was blessed. Okay. I received a blessing, and I want to share that with you, and then kind of round it out in a devotional. And but before I do, if you are planning on being with us at the Wyndham Hotel on Saturday, we will be meeting at 9:30 Eastern. We will be having a live broadcast. The live broadcast is going to be at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And so we will have a time of well, let me see. Yeah, if we do 9:30 meet, 30 minutes to grab some food, then at 10 o'clock we'll do a live broadcast. So any of you, I mean, it probably won't be as many people on the stream because so many of you will be there live. We've already had tons of registrations, which is great. But I get that many of you live out of state, you live too far, and some of our key, like our like Rich Papsco called me yesterday, just so apologetic because he's at a wedding in Arizona. I was like, well, could you just zoom in the wedding, and I was kidding. And then I had another brother who watches us on replay, and he told me at men's group last night he is so heartbroken that he can't be there, but it's his daughter's senior recital in Manhattan. It's a big big thing, and so he's got to be there for that. And I said, well, don't they record that? You could just watch it late. He looked at me funny, like, are you really asking me to miss my daughter's recital and her senior recital, no less, in Manhattan? Like, this is a big deal. And so I'm only teasing, man. Like, I get it. Saturdays are packed and not everybody can come, but we're going to have a great time. We're going to visit together, share a meal together, but we will be broadcasting live on Saturday at 10 a.m. And it'll probably be 30 to 45 minutes. And I hope to have some special guests tune in. I'm still working out the tech on how to do that in that space. So anyway, just letting you know, those things are happening, and it's going to be a great day. And then we'll be done there by 11:30. So we only have the room for 2 hours anyway. So it won't be a super long time, and you'll still have your afternoon, and we'll need it. So, but let me tell you about what happened to me. And I want to give a shout out to somebody here in just a minute. But okay, so a lot of people are noticing that a couple weeks ago, I bought a different car. I used to drive a 2021 GMC Sierra pickup. I've been driving pickups for the past 9 years. I've had 3 of them. They've all been lease vehicles. This one, I just would trade it in the lease and get a new lease. And so this last one that I had, my lease was up, but in a weird topsy-turvy world, my lease vehicle was worth more money today than it was the day that I bought it, and it was worth way more than the buyout was. So I bought the lease out, and so now I own the truck. And but my wife has been driving a car that's got 200,000, nearly, I don't want to exaggerate, it's like 184,000 miles on it. And we have drivers in the home. My son's actually going in for his permit test this weekend. My second daughter, Ashlyn, is on her, she's coming home from college. And so we have needs of vehicles here. So we've been talking, Jeanette and I've been saving for about 3 years, and we've been thinking about trying to get her into a new car. And so I thought, all right, well, what I could do is I could sell my truck and buy an older car and probably get, about $10,000 cash out of the truck, and then put that toward her vehicle and help offset that cost, because cost of vehicles is just ridiculous. I don't know if you've been in the market, but in any case, that's what I did. We have a brother in the church that works at a local used car dealership. And then about a month and a half ago, I was at the gym, and I was looking out the window, and I saw a Jeep, and I was like, I think I like Jeeps. I never liked Jeeps before, but suddenly I like Jeeps. Maybe it's a midlife crisis. I don't know. My wife calls it midlife coolness. So, but in any case, I was like, you know what? I want a Jeep. So I called our brother up at the used car lot. I said, hey, because they have like 600 cars on their lot. And I said, hey, do you guys have any Jeeps? And he sent me a picture of one. And I said, here's the thing. It has to be white because I love white. And it has to be a manual because I love 5 speeds. And I haven't had a manual since Jeanette and I were early married. And like, if I'm driving a Jeep, I'm not driving an automatic. I'm just not doing it. So I'll get something else. And that's just me. That's not an indictment on anybody that has an automatic Jeep. Okay, so that's just me. My niece has an automatic Jeep, but anyway, so he's like, wow, it's crazy, but yeah, we just got this one in, and it was a 2013, so we're 11 years old, and it's not like it's a new vehicle, but it only had 80,000 miles on it and everything. So I mean, for its age, that was pretty low miles. And so for me, like going, I lost my, oh man, what happened? I lost my notes. Hang on, people. File open. Here we go. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I'll be right there. I just want to, maybe this is it. This is it. Modifications are not in sync. Choose which version. Well, we'll take the 654 version. Okay, keep one. All right, it's just what didn't want me to save. All right, and so anyway, long story short, I went and looked at it, and this thing was like cherry, right? Now Jeeps are notorious, I guess, for rust. So I had them lift it. We looked underneath on all the chassis, the transfer case, the transmission, everything, all the bolts, the motor mounts, all of it, and like no rust. I mean, thing's 11 years old, and it's lived in, it was in New York, upstate New York, most of its life, and so it had no rust. And I was like, wow. And so I test drove it and liked it, and so I bought it. I bought it, and would you know, they gave me I traded in my truck, and they gave me the Jeep, and they gave me just under $10,000 cash. So that was so my whole dream of like being able to help my wife out with a new car is like, it's all happening, right? And so that was the case. But here's the deal: the Jeep is, Jeeps are it's just kind of, it's got the big tires, and it's got a lift and all that stuff, and it's kind of a statement piece and in some way, and but it's really a pretty Jeep. And so last night I drove it to men's group, and Tom Keefe comes around the corner, and at first he thought it was Pastor Kyle's. Pastor Kyle is another pastor at our church, and Pastor Kyle goes, no, that's the boss's. And he looked over me, he goes, this is your Jeep? And I said, yes. And the joy that came on his face, he said, I am so happy for you. And I was like, what? And he's like, and then he said this, he goes, you deserve this. He goes, this is awesome. I'm so glad that I was blown away. It blessed my, like, I'm like, I deserve that. Like, I don't feel like I deserve anything, but he just was so encouraging to me. And I mean, that made me feel so good. And I was honestly grateful and thankful, because as a pastor, right, everybody's looking at you always, and everybody makes, people, not, I shouldn't say everybody, because that's a broad stroke, but a lot of people are critical. They're critical of pastors and their homes, and they have super high expectations, as you should. We are held to a higher accountability as unto the Lord. But there is when I was growing up, there was this undercurrent of thought in the church that a pastor should not have anything. You shouldn't have nice things. You shouldn't have this and then. And I'm not saying, there's a line to be drawn. I disagree with some of these like big, evangelists and stuff that have multiple, private jets and mansions and all over the place. Like, I mean, I guess if you make investments then that's fine, but whatever. I mean, like, I can't judge. So, but that undercurrent of feeling is there. And so, and I'm like, and so I feel like I have to tell everybody, like, listen, guys, this thing's 11 years old. Like, it's not a brand new Jeep. It's, it's, you know what I mean? And everything. So, but he encouraged me. And that's what point I want to talk about today is that, so the word encouragement, according to Webster's dictionary, means the action of giving somebody support, confidence, and hope. The act of putting support inside of somebody, putting, coming, walking alongside somebody, walking alongside them, being a support, giving them confidence and hope. The Apostle Paul lists all the spiritual gifts in Romans chapter 12. And when he gets to the word for encouragement, which is a spiritual gift, and I believe that Tom was operating in that spiritual gift last night, because that shot to my soul. Like it blessed me that he was so affirming, and because anyway, and so Paul lists this gift, and when he uses the word for encouragement, he uses the Greek word parakletio, which it means to call to one side. It means to call to one side. That's in Romans chapter 12, verse 7 and 8. And we call it, or like a paraclete. We've talked about King David. Before he was king, he was best friends with Jonathan, who was King Saul's son. And the Bible says that they were soul knit together. That they were paracletes, that they walked side by side. They had each other's back. And so this word parakleto or parakletos, it means to be called to one side. And Paul tells us that we are called to do this with one another, to not break each other down, but to walk alongside your brother, right? And to love them and encourage them and celebrate them and be happy for them, right? In Hebrews, we're told to, in Hebrews 3:13, it says, encourage one another daily as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. Now listen, he's not talking about the recipient of the praise. He's talking about the giver of the praise, the giver of the support, the giver of the paraclesis, or the encouragement. He's saying, if you do not encourage people, then you are going to get hardened in your heart, and you're going to begin to lean in on sin. And because what happens is, if you're not an encourager of people, you're a critic of people, and you'll begin to become hardened, and you'll begin to make preconceived notions and ideas about people, and talk about people, and gossip about them, and say wrong things and unfactual things about them, and spread rumor, and so cause division and disunity. So he says, be on the other side of that. Always look to how you can encourage one another, how you can instill confidence and hope and support. So, but our natural sinful nature, we tend to lean in what we're against than what we're for. We tend to look at people and situations through the lens of criticism and breaking it apart and making it parsing things out, assuming the worst in somebody else. And listen, there's some people that are just, they're just rotten, but that's sin. Sin does that. And you got to remember, like, God still loves that person, right? But when you become a critical spirit, you begin, like, you don't support anything. You don't support anything. And in time, some people become prideful of their lack of support of anything or anyone, right? They're like, I remember years ago when we first started at Cornerstone, and we built a Facebook page. Now, this is when Instagram wasn't, it may have been around, but it wasn't really a thing yet. It hadn't been acquired by Facebook, by Meta yet. Meta wasn't a thing either. But anyway, and so we had this Facebook page, and we worked hard at trying to build this page and trying to promote, and that was our digital footprint and everything. And so the way to get out there was to get stars, like to get ratings. And so I encouraged our entire congregation, go on and write a comment about the church and give us a rating and follow us and all the stuff that you're supposed to do. And we had 5 stars forever. And then all of a sudden one day I opened up, and because this was a big thing, like, 10 years ago. And I opened it up and we had 4 stars. How do we go from 5 stars to 4 stars in one night? And it was because one person gave us a 4-star review, which knocked our entire thing down. I think it knocked it down to 4.5 stars. And so I was like, wow. And so I read this comment, and everything that they said was, the preaching's good, the worship's good, they've got great ministries, it's a church on fire, it's alive, you should come be a part, this is a great church. And then they gave us 4 stars. And I'm like, why? So I asked them, I said, why did you do that? And they said to me, well, I don't give anybody 5 stars. And I'm like, then don't rate us. Because then I looked at the metrics, and it takes something like, it was like 86. I think it took 86 more 5-star reviews to get us back up to a 5-star rating at the time. So anyway, my point is a little bit of criticism, a little bit of negativity has a long-lasting impact. And truthfully, we all know that those criticisms are usually manifestations of people's own insecurities, usually, right? I'm not saying it's wrong to be critical in a healthy way, but sometimes people just lean in on criticism or negativity or lack of support. But the problem is that words that you speak are powerful. The words are precious, or they're poison. And some words are like a slow dripping in the soul of another that's destructive and hurtful, and it breaks down people's spirit. Scripture says that life and death, Proverbs 18:21, life and death are in the power of your tongue. In fact, the word encourage itself is revealing. The prefix there, en, means to put in or a condition of, to put into or condition of. And then courage is strength or bravery. So when you encourage another person, you are literally putting into them strength or bravery. You are conditioning strength and bravery inside of them. But it takes the smallest of words. The smallest of words can empower someone to accomplish the biggest of things. Sometimes it's not a word at all. Sometimes it's just a warm embrace, or a gentle kiss, or just showing up in solidarity and support, saying nothing, but your presence alone instills confidence in somebody. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 3 says, but this is Paul, and he's admonishing the church, and he's encouraging them. And he says, listen, the one who prophesies strengthens other people, encouraging them and comforting them. And a person who speaks in tongues is strengthened personally. But the one who speaks a word of prophecy speaks to the entire church. Now watch. So verse 5, he says, so I wish that you could all speak in tongues, but even more, I wish that you would all prophesy. For prophecy is greater than speaking in tongues, unless someone interprets what you're saying, so that the whole church will be strengthened. Dear brothers and sisters, if I should come to you speaking in an unknown language, how would it help you? But if I bring you a revelation of some special knowledge, or prophecy, or teaching, that would be helpful. And what he's saying is, when he says, I would that you would all prophesy, he's not saying don't speak in tongues, he's saying you should, but you need to have interpretation. He's like, but everybody should prophesy. And that word for prophecy, there's different levels. And he's talking about affirmation and encouragement. Affirmation and encouragement, affirming people and instilling confidence in them. So this is so simple. Just notice something about somebody and speak to it, right? I shook a hands of a brother last night, and I was like, man, you have a solid handshake. And they're like, thanks, right? You see somebody and it looks like that they're trimming up and they're looking good. You say, hey, are you working out? You look good. that encourages them to keep getting up at 5 a.m, right? Or hey, did you just cut your hair? I like I said that to Sue yesterday. She didn't cut her hair, but just how it was, I guess it got windblown or something, and it just looked a little different. And I just told her it looked really good and made her feel good, right? You did a great job on that project. Hey, you did a great job on that project. I could not have done that without you. That's encouraging words. It's an admittance, right? You go to the cashier at the local coffee shop who's dealing with everybody's pre-caffeinated cantankerous, cranky selves, and you just give them a warm smile and say, I don't know how you do this, but you are doing a great job. I mean, you listen, first of all, you never know what somebody is facing. And secondly, you have no idea how impactful your words will be on the rest of their life. And let me just leave you with this. And I know we're running late. Let me just leave you with this. Don't assume that because somebody seems to have it all together, that they do. Everybody has issues. Everybody has hardships. Everybody faces insecurities, and everybody has pain, and everybody has struggle, and everybody has loss, and everybody is walking with grief, and everybody is dealing with something, and they need encouragement from time to time. So I challenge you, be the voice today. Allow nothing but praise to come from your mouth today, and see if it doesn't lift your spirit as well. So, Tom, thanks, man. Thanks for blessing me yesterday. That meant a lot to me, so much so that I wrote an entire devotion about it. So, all right, let me just say some very quick shout outs. Good to see Janetta and Jackie and Mark G and Athena and Elizabeth and Samantha and Esther Gorantham and Robin Champ. My sister Grace Jimenez on today. Good to see you. Jeanette Lynn Willis on with us. Kimmy Joan, nice to have you on today. Good to see you. I know you could wish you could be there, Esther. Thank you. I know it would be awesome to have you, but that's a big trip for such a quick thing. Maurice, thanks for being on today. Good to see you. Heather, thank you for joining us. Tony, good to see you, Tony Fecciadori. Amen. Let's see. Diane Riley. Thank you, Kim, for those words. Okay. So Diane says, someone's blessing may be a curse to you. So don't covet others' blessings. You are where God wants you to be. And that's true. Listen, just because somebody else has you don't want to covet those things. You just want to be happy for them, But remember, you're blessed. Everybody's blessed, man. Pear Simpson. Nice to see you. Thanks for following, and thanks for being a part today. KJ, thanks for being on over here on Facebook. Good to see, and YouTube. Len Pace, Tara Rose, Sherry Blakeman, Rich Papsco, Tom and Colette Jogoto, Eileen Thoma, Rocco Baldino, Carrie Ann McAndrew. Good to have Kim Sikelski and Rich Papsco and Deb on, and John Cookson. God bless you guys. Good to see Carrie Ann over here, Jacqueline Campoli, Narda Allen, Cindy, Aunt Cindy Willis, Bryce Wood. Good to have Melissa Morse on today. Good to see all of you. Welcome. Nick DeLugo, buddy. I hope things went well yesterday. Prayed for you. Know that you crushed it, man. I'm sure that things went amazing, but I'm excited to hear Pastor Frank Finkel on today. Good to see you, Athena Detlefs. God bless you, Athena. Welcome, Tina Poe. Thanks for being on, Tina. Lauren Green on today. I know we're still bummed, Lauren. Lauren was another one that wanted to come, but she couldn't. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Marty Main, good to see you on, Marty. God bless you. Good to see Don Olette. Thanks for being on today. I'm so sorry I'm running so late, guys. And if I miss you, my apologies. I'm rifling through this quickly. But be encouragers, man. Be encouragers. Hey, Dad. Good to see you today. My loving father. Good to have you, father. Oh, man. Yeah, so John Cookson says, I love my church family so much. This word of encouragement makes me think of the many blessings of encouragement I've received from my brothers and sisters. John, you're an encourager too, my friend, but I did miss you at men's group last night. Let's see. Thank you, PC. Have a blessed day. 999 in the books. That's right. Patty Calabrese, nice to see you on, Patty. God bless you. All of you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on today. Have a beautiful and blessed and wonderful day today, wherever life may take you. And if I don't see you on Saturday, then I will see you on Monday. God bless you guys. Take care. Be shake hands. Be friendly. Love one another. Encourage somebody. God bless you. And I'll see you at 1,000. Bye-bye.